Are you ready for career success? Your Career Podcast will help you to take control of your career. You can also find out your career success score by taking my 2-minute career success quiz. You'll get your results, analysis, and recommendations immediately. Go to janejacksoncoach.com/career success quiz. The link is in my show notes. Now, on with the show. Welcome to episode 245 of Your Career Podcast. Are you struggling to get noticed for the great work that you do? Well, in this episode, I'm joined by Sigrid De Kaste, who is an author mentor, and we're going to explain how to attract the opportunities for your career or your business that you deserve. Now, we actually recorded this a little while ago on LinkedIn Live, and so I have downloaded the recording of our LinkedIn Live session because it was very lively. It was filled with great tips, and both Sigrid and I share our perspectives on personal branding. So whether you're a job seeker looking to progress in your career or a business owner, your personal brand, is essential for success. And one of the best ways to build your brand is by writing a book on your area of expertise. So we're going to be talking about personal branding, how to go about writing your own book. And you know what they always say, everyone's got a book in them. And have you got a book in you too? So let's find out what personal branding is all about and how writing a book can actually help you. And here we are. How nice to have you here, Sigrid.
Hello, Jane. Lovely to be here.
Yes. Well, we had some interesting tech issues earlier on, but hopefully all is going well now because it seems to be working both on my desktop and it's working fine on the phone, which is fabulous. So should we do our welcomes? Because I'm here with the amazing author of Build a Book to Build a Business, Sigrid De Kaste.
Hello, Jane. I'm with Jane Jackson, author of Navigating Career Crossroads. Fantastic book, reset several times because it's so popular to be read by everyone who wants to advance their career. Hi, Jane.
Oh, it's so nice. You know the good thing about collaboration is that you can pull the best out of each other as well. And you've got so much to share today when it comes to branding with regard to becoming an author. And I'd like to focus on the career side. So should we do just a brief introduction of each other so people who don't know us can get to know us? I'll just kick it off very briefly. I'm Jane Jackson, your career management coach and the author of Navigating Career Crossroads. I'm also the host of Your Career Podcast, where I do my best to provide as much career advice and inspiration and interesting interviews with fascinating professionals who've made amazing career changes. And I happen to be a LinkedIn Top Voice 2020-2021 because I love to share lots and lots of content. But today is all about your personal branding. So I'm going to hand over to Sigrid. Tell us all about you.
Thank you, Jane. Thank you. So Sigrid De Kaste, Sticky Beak Marketing is my business, and it says that already. Marketing, that is my main area of expertise. I've been in for a very long time, and I have personally experienced the power of writing a book. And as Jane just said, changes. If you want to change your own direction with your expertise or go into a different area of expertise that you already have in your business, writing a book is a fantastic way of, journeying with you and showing what you know. So that is what I look after now. People in business who'd like to write a book, people with a career who can see that a book can really be a powerful tool to brand who you are, the expertise that you have.
Yeah, and so many people say, why should I care about my personal brand? But honestly, that's your reputation. And so if you have a solid reputation for your area of expertise. That's going to help you to attract business if you're a business owner, and it'll help you to attract job opportunities if you happen to be looking for a job or promotion as well within your existing career. So, when it comes to personal branding, Sigrid, don't you think that having a book in your hot little hands, whether it's your book or it's my book, okay, it's like, and I always love to say this, it's like a business card on steroids, because you can hand a business card to someone, but if you happen to mention that you have a book and in your book you wrote this or you mentioned this, then instantly it gives a little bit more intrigue, don't you think?
It certainly does, Jane. And, there might be misunderstanding around branding and what branding is. Branding really is, like you said, everything that we do, who we are, the way we look, the way we dress, and the way we speak. So that is all part of it. And having that book is a really fantastic deeper way of getting to know you. By reading your book, Navigating Career Crossroads, I really get a feel for who you are, the way you wrote it, your chapters, the information you're giving me in there. I can relate to that, and I can say, Jane is the person I need to talk to. So that goes a lot deeper than a business card can, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. And so often they say that you need to have 7 hours of experience of someone or their service, and then about 11 touch points before someone will actually say, yeah, that's what I want. I'm going to buy or I'm going to employ. And so it would be wise, whether you're in employment or whether you're thinking about self-employment or whether you're already a business owner, to really consider what you want to, well, the way actually that you would like to market yourself. And once you get really clear on who you are, what your end game is, basically, then you can begin.
So Jane, from your perspective, why is clarity of purpose in your choices for your career so important for those people who want to progress in their careers? You're talking about the clarity, deeply. So why is that so important from your perspective?
Well, most of my clients who come to me, they come to me because they're either fed up of their current role, there's something going on at work and they're not quite sure what's making them unhappy, or else they've experienced a redundancy or a layoff and they need to make a change and they would like to make the right change next. So I always start with a foundational way of coaching, and that is to get career clarity. So what's important to you? What are your key driving values in your life and your career? What satisfies you and what dissatisfies you about any role, industry, company, team or manager, what your key motivators are, as well as what your tangible accomplishments will be, what you actually bring to the table that you're really proud of. And when my clients get clear on what they bring to the table, who they are, where they want to go ultimately, and what sort of legacy they might want to leave in their life or in their career, then we can reverse engineer it and start to set a really clear plan. I usually work with people through this. This is my career clarity pack. And we go through a series of exercises that they send back to me. And then what we do is we debrief it and find out exactly what does this mean? And so what are you hoping to achieve? If this happened, how would you feel? If this didn't happen, how would you feel? And at the end of the day, what's the legacy you'd like to leave? How would you like to be remembered? And what would you like to have achieved as well? So once you get clear with that, every decision that you make in your career, or could be in your business, ends up being so much easier.
I so agree with you, and I can see, this correlation or this, similarities to what I do around the book. But let's stay with the careers for the moment. So the clarity is important, and I get it. A lot of people in themselves might think they know or they have a certain clarity around, but they don't, do they? So getting somebody from the outside to look in on them, like what you do, is so important, I think. to get that detail, and then you're using a fantastic workbook there as well. That's great to really dig into the finer details and just really unlayer and unchisel what is really there. What, from your perspective, is the key around having to have that clarity so that you can brand yourself? What's that connection there? How do you see that?
Well, the most important thing is to really be authentic within yourself, because never, ever try to be what you're not. People may aspire to something, but if it doesn't feel right, even if you marketed yourself into an amazing role with an incredible job title, it's never going to sit quite right. And you might be setting yourself up for failure. So authenticity is one of the most important things when it comes to branding yourself. And there are many ways you can brand yourself, of course, in person and online. And when you're thinking about your personal brand and you understand who you are and what you bring to the table and what your values are, then all of your messaging can reinforce that. That's what I help people with when it comes to their LinkedIn profiles, for example, to really let their true self come through. And if they're thinking about creating content, this is one of the best ways to start, by dipping a toe in the water, maybe starting a blog, writing some posts, putting your thought leadership or your expertise out there, because it could lead on to building a book as well, which is your area of expertise, where you guide people to really get their thoughts down and ask them, why is it important for you to write this book? What's it for? So you think about your personal brand. What is your brand for? What are you trying to do? Do you want to help the environment? Do you want to land a job? Do you want to progress in some particular cause or direction? Know yourself, and then you'll be able to get the content right that you're sharing as well.
That is so true. And I guess you wrote your book, Navigating Career Crossroads, back in 2015, and you are on the second edition now, which was published in 2020. It reached number one bestseller, number one on Amazon in several categories, and you were even a finalist in the Australian Career Book Awards last year, which is great. What was your reason? Why did you write your book?
Okay. Well, writing a book is quite a long, and it can be quite an arduous task as well. But what I wanted was, I'd been coaching for 15 years, and it was very much one-on-one coaching, or I was delivering group workshops. And so when you run your own business, and if when you turn up, you're earning money, then that's a good thing. And I loved what I did so much. However, I had no idea how to scale my business, or how I could really position myself to more people, to let them know that I'm a coach, I'm a warm and fuzzy coach, but I help you to get results in your career. And so one of the best ways to do it was to write a book. And the book enables me to leave a legacy. It's a bit like ticking something off the bucket list. But the reason why I wrote Navigating Career Crossroads is because I was quite lost in my career early on, because I didn't have much guidance. My mother, Hong Kong Chinese, wonderful woman, very loving, but she didn't speak English. My father was English. My mum was Chinese. And my father was a Cambridge scholar and very academic. So he was like my guiding light. But when he passed away when I was 11, I ended up not having that guidance, besides a very, loving mother at home looking after me. But there was no one to guide me with regard to careers and direction. And so I made my own choices, and I bumbled along for, quite a number of years, had a very interesting and successful career. But when I turned 40, Sigrid, and, so it took me 20 years to get there. When I turned 40, I had this opportunity to find out about career coaching through a global outplacement company. And during that interview, it was like, I've come home. And for the past 22 years now, I've been coaching people to find and follow their true passion and direction, and make a successful career change and land a new job that they'll find rewarding. And that's why I wrote the book, because I don't want people to take 20 years to find out the person that they were born to be. So that was really driving me.
I think that's fantastic, and it shows, of course, it shows in your, in your pages, on your pages throughout your book there. And I think it's a real key for people that you're in business with an expertise that you can share, to use a book to do so. People can take away the book in their own time, get to know who you are, get to know what you stand for. They can come back to you. It's a lot deeper than many other forms of trying to get to the people that you are there for. And of course, your passion comes through in how you speak and what you say and how you post, and of course in the book. I think that's wonderful.
And by the same token, if you know that you're doing something that's going to benefit others, it feels really rewarding. And many people, they write books for so many different reasons, and then there are many different types of books. I've written, it's a self-help book for someone who wants to transition in their career. You've written 3 books, but this one, Build a Book to Build a Business, is a fabulous self-help book as well, because your tagline is discover the power of authority marketing in 5 easy steps, which is great. So what I'd like to ask you, Sigrid, is what in your experience is the reason why people write a book?
There are so many reasons, Jane. Great question, but there are so many different reasons. People come up with all sorts of different reasons that they tell me why they want to write. Now, if we really unlayer those reasons and keep digging deeper and deeper, ultimately it is about what you've already shared with us here. It is about letting that knowledge that we have, that they have out, sharing that, helping other people with their knowledge, wanting to help other people, and leaving a legacy. And then there is at the base of all of that quite often the idea, this book could be a super duper bestseller, making me millions of dollars. That's not so much realistic, generally speaking. It is all possible, but I wouldn't focus on that. So people like to write different types of books. And there would be quite a difference perhaps between people on a career path to write to people in business and their own business. So there'd be 2 different approaches and ways how they'd probably think about writing a book, in my experience.
And like you can write a fiction book to entertain, because you're a writer and that's what you do, and it ends up becoming your profession. Yes. And then, so you've got the entertainment books, you've got the novels, you've got your self-help books, you've got your authoritative guides. And I think if you know that whatever you've written helps to either inspire someone, entertain them, educate them, that's the real reason behind it, isn't it?
It sure is. So I've got sentences coming to me from people who inquire about the programs that I offer. They want to further promote their message. Quite often they'd like to write a children's book, something a bit different. They'd like to write a biography, and we need to always take a closer look at how does that fit into their life, their career, and if they're in business, their business. And we'll have a close look at, is that really the best choice for them? And certainly there are differences in how to write a fiction book, so something around self-help, or if you're in business, around your expertise. So what you've put into your book, that is expertise. So that is leaving a legacy and leaving information for people around an expertise that you have. Now that's the one I focus on. While there are other areas around biographies and novels and children's books, recipe books, all sorts of different areas that I have experience with. My main focus is on around career, or bringing that, or expertise, I should say, bringing your expertise into a book. So the main reason for me, as I said, with the 3 different ones that I have, and I'm giving, really self-help in a way in my Build a Book to Build a Business. The reason for me was that I was always in a business, and the book allowed me to turn into a different direction, focusing on a new expertise and an experience I had, and helping the book to move me forward with that. So it's exciting to write. And I think you mentioned earlier, it is a task. It sure is. But as you know, and I think it is in your career path when you help people to find what their brand should be because of what they are really good at, it's all in the planning, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. That leads me to the next question, which I'm sure everybody would like to know, is if you wanted to write a book, there's so many steps. I mean, I've gone through it and there was quite a lot. A lot to go through and so much to learn in addition to writing. You don't just sit and type and bingo, there you have a book. There's all this additional planning too. So in your expertise, Sigrid, if someone wants to write a book to build their brand or to build their business, where do they start and what should they be focusing on first?
And I think this is where it really connects so well with what you've already shared with us here. It's that initial clarity. What is it you really want to achieve with the book? So that leads you to the next step. So you really need to start with thinking about what you want to achieve. So if you are in a career and you want to share your expertise, then you need to have a look at what is your brand? What do you stand for? So if a person wants to get started, wants to write a book, plan. Dig into what do you want to achieve and really ask yourself a lot of questions around that. Those answers to those questions, to that main question, what is it you want the book to do for you? That will lead you to experience and find for yourself what you need to write your book about. And that makes it so much easier and so much faster to write your book. So that's really the key. Why do you want to write it? What do you want to achieve by having that book? Those are the key parts, and that is what I, have in my framework now with people. As you said before, you're asking a lot of questions when someone comes to you for help. That is what I do too. We ask all of these questions, and that leads then to open up what to write about, who to write for, and so on.
When it comes to books, I mean, some people write a book because I want to make money. It's going to be a product that I can sell. Other people might think, I want to write a book so I can help other people. Or some might be doing it just for personal satisfaction. They might say to themselves, I've always wanted to write a book, so I'm going to, and I don't care whether it sells any or not. Just want to do it. And I have one friend who wrote a very interesting book about a family member and what happened to him during the First World War. And it was a labor of love. She really enjoyed herself. It was quite cathartic as well, writing it. And now it's available for sale, and it's called a handful of stars, and it's absolutely beautiful, and I'm sure that she will sell some, but she doesn't want to market it at all. So I'm thinking, for the purpose here where someone wants to build their career or to build their business, you want to get that book out to as many people as possible. Yes. Yeah. And that's part of what you help people with too, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. So there are, in broad speaking terms, three phases out there. So you've got the writing phase of a book, you've got the phase of publishing it, and then you've got the phase of the marketing. Now, those three phases, in my experience and in my programs, go together. They are interconnected. I do not like them separately to stand alone, which a lot of people do. They look at one and then the other and then the other. So they're interconnected. The marketing is very important. If you do not want to market your book, you're not going to sell them easily unless you have a large family and they all want to buy it. So it might be, a family tree type book. And that's fine if that's what you want to do. If you'd like to write any other book, aside from career or business, whether that is a recipe book or a children's book, you've got to consider the marketing first. How are you going to get readers to your book? So making money from book sales alone is directly tied into marketing. How are you going to talk about your book? Where are you going to promote it? Who is going to want it? How can you get into more media with it? And so on to make book sales. Now, whether you publish it yourself or you find a publisher, doesn't make any difference. You still need to market it yourself to some extent as well. And that is really a key around it, the marketing part. And that is the question that I like people to dig into initially, is what do you want to achieve by having that book? What do you want the book itself to do for you is tied to marketing. That's what that is really all about. That opens up that area. So that is a real key part of getting your book out there. If you want to write
Wi-Fi network,
you
might want to check the connection settings in the Google Home app.
Not quite sure where that's coming from.
It came from Google. I can't say the word in case the Nest, which is here, it just said I can't connect to the network.
Dear.
The danger of all this AI that we have floating around. But you're absolutely right. If you get clear on what it is you want to achieve out of the book, that's the most important thing, isn't it? And also what's so handy is, Sigrid, not only are you an author mentor, but you also run Sticky Beak Marketing. So you help people with their book and you also help them to market the book. So that's a perfect marriage, isn't it? Now, you've written 3 books, okay? 5 practical steps to keep and find great people, which is very good for employment. The secret of marketing a business like yours. So here we go into the marketing side of things. And then build a book to build a business. So why did you write each of these books?
Great question. Thank you for asking that. And that really tells my story. I come from a retail background. I didn't start my businesses initially. I bought businesses. I bought into existing businesses. The first one was a diamond jewelry business. Very exciting. I knew nothing about jewelry at the time, but I just went into it and I used my marketing knowledge to really grow that business and be able to sell it. That business gave me a lot of knowledge and expertise working with staff, finding the right people, putting them in the right place in my business, being able to trust them and have them work for me with loyalty. I found out that people around me in businesses all had trouble with that. So I thought when I had that business and the second business I had sold, I'll go into something different. Consulting would interest me. And this is where that question, what do you want to achieve by having a book? Well, I wanted to have a book to give me the credibility and share my expertise around how to find and keep great people. And I use that to get into becoming a consultant without having to go through any long, changes or certification and so on. And that did exactly that. It really helped me with that. As I went through that, I discovered that all these people in business that I was working with on their staff, they expect staff to do marketing, and they had nothing in place for the staff to use for their marketing. So that's when I started Sticky Beak Marketing, and the second book helped me to bring that out there onto the map, bring me clients in around marketing being everything in your business, not just one little area, not just lead generation, not just sales, but everything together. And then I had a lot of people come to me with a book ready published to market. And often they had not thought about, wow, my title, the book title is so important to get the right person to want to read your book, to even get you to stand out as the person, the expert that you are and why you wrote it. So that's when I did the Build a Book to Build Your Business, so that I could help people with all 3 phases, the writing, the publishing, and the marketing. That's how it all came about.
and also because your passion for helping people to do this comes through so much. And it's personally really rewarding to know that you've written something that is valuable and does help people. With Navigating Career Crossroads, for example, the title, which is important for a book, tells you exactly what it is that you're going to get if you read the book. And I have a little tagline here that it says navigating career crossroads, and then how to survive, crossed out, thrive when changing direction. Because so many people, when they go through a redundancy or they think I want to make a career change, they think of just surviving the change, but really you want to thrive through it. So the book title and their tagline are very important, wouldn't you say, Sigrid?
Absolutely, Jane. You've really hit the nail on the head there with that. The title is the most important one. We say we judge a book by its cover. We certainly do, but it's not necessarily the graphics and the colors on their own. It is the title. And think about it. Most people will see your book somewhere online, and most often that'll be in that thumbnail size. And I am describing those details, for example, in my book, Build a Book to Build a Business. That is so important. So your cover needs to stand out in that little thumbnail size, and your book title wants to be readable so people immediately can connect and say, that's a book that is for me. So looking at navigating career crossroads, nice and big, colors on the dark background stands out in the thumbnail size online. And the title is very clear. It's not something obscure. It's not something fancy or creative, which sometimes people think, if I call it this, people will be curious. No, it's not actually curiosity. It is connecting. Career, yes, I want my career. I want to do more. I want to move further in my career. That connects. If you called it anything else, how would I know that it is about that topic?
Well, I absolutely agree, because I've seen some books at the bookshop, and I love wandering through bookshops and just having a look at what's on the shelves. And I look at them, I think, what's that all about? And when it's obscure, I lose interest, unless I'm looking for a novel. And I'm thinking, okay, I want to have a little bit of fun here. I want to read something interesting, or else there's a particular author that I'm following anyway. And I have to say, one title really captured my attention right from the beginning, and it's my favorite book of all time, was Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And I love that title. I love the book. It's hilarious, and it's always been a favorite of mine as well. And so, Sigrid, I'd like to let people know that if they want to follow you, here, linkedin.com, just look for Sigrid De Kaste. Have I pronounced that correctly, Sigrid?
Yes, you did. Lovely.
Good. And if you would like to follow me, you can find me, and you'll just find me as Jane Jackson, career coach. You'll find me everywhere. Now, Sigrid has got a very, very good free masterclass that you might be interested in, and it's a book writing masterclass, isn't it, Sigrid? Tell us a little bit about this.
So I really like to answer questions that people have. Sometimes they have them somewhere secretly in the back of their mind. So a masterclass is a great opportunity to ask me directly. We also do a couple of exercises to get you started with your book idea, to find out how that would work for you. So we do a couple of exercises, and there's a whole range of detail that are addressed in that 1 hour masterclass. I've got a whole lot of people who have said to me, wow, after that masterclass, I really had a clear idea about what I want to do with my book, what I want to write my book about. So it's a great opportunity for that.
And perhaps you may also be interested that before you do Sigrid's masterclass, which will be amazing, is I have a free personal branding masterclass, which is only 40 minutes long, but you'll find it at janejacksoncoach.com/3 secrets. And it's a fabulous masterclass that makes you deep dive into who are you? What is it that you really want in your life and career, and what you can do about it? So people have really enjoyed that masterclass as well. So we have the personal branding masterclass, and we have Sigrid's book writing masterclass. So please feel free to message either of us if you haven't written down the links quickly enough. I'll just keep this one. stickybeatmarketing.com/training is where you'll find Sigrid's. And for the personal branding free masterclass is janejacksoncoach.com/3 secrets. Okay, so that's what you can do after this live broadcast. For anyone who has missed the live broadcast, of course, they'll be able to find the replay, and we can send people the link as well, because we've had quite a lot of requests saying, sorry, we can't make it live, but please let us know where the replay is. So any final words from you, Sigrid?
I think it's really this idea of clarity is so important. Whatever we want to do, we need to be clear about it. And there's a big point that often we, within ourselves, yes, we've got everything inside, we have intuition, everybody has it, we might not always feel it. But to pull out what we want to and to get really clear on our next step, our main goal, whether that is in career or wanting to write a book, getting someone to help you is so important. Very important.
Absolutely. And it's quite funny. Gunnar, who is watching, obviously has read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, because he's just given us the answer to the meaning of life. And I'm not going to say it out loud. Well, actually, here, I'm going to share it. Here we go, Gunnar. Thank you for sharing. Yes, it's 42. And if nobody knows why it's 42, go and read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. because that's fabulous. So funny. And, it's funny when there is a book that has inspired you, and I'll just pop up Sigrid's LinkedIn URL again, so you can find Sigrid easily. When you find a book that you love so much, it ends up being quite dog-eared, doesn't it? Unless you're reading it on the Kindle, because you refer back to it time and time again, as I certainly will be with your Build a Book to Build a Business, because it's a very good reminder. Even though I've got a book already, it's still a really good reminder. And one of my clients who I had lunch with just before Christmas, she actually keeps my book in her handbag and takes it everywhere, just as a reminder for different things with regard to LinkedIn marketing or what to say when you're networking and things like that, which is so lovely. So Sigrid, thank you so much for your time. It's really lovely to collaborate, because we're both on the same page. And when it comes to collaboration, it's really important to have our values in alignment as well. And both our businesses, tie in very nicely with each other, I think.
Thank you very much for having me. Great to have been here.
Thanks for joining me today. For affordable career help, please check out my Career Success Program. I provide a unique blend of online and live career coaching to help you take control of every aspect of your career or career change. If you aren't where you want to be in your career, let's talk. Check it out at thecareersacademy.online. The links are in my show notes.